There's a lot of discussion within the online historical community about how to improve ourselves and lead virtuous lives. However, there's a notable absence of conversation regarding the negative habits we already possess. Epictetus once highlighted two particularly troublesome vices that stand out from the rest: a lack of persistence and a lack of mastery over our higher selves. Epictetus stressed the importance of persisting and resisting, emphasizing that living a righteous life entails an unwavering commitment to doing what's right, even when our motivation falters. It involves cultivating new beneficial behaviors that enhance our character. Building good habits is no simple task, so perseverance is key. Additionally, resistance plays a crucial role as it involves steering clear of temptations and harmful habits that can undermine our well-being. In this video, we'll delve into 6 common daily habits that we should steer clear of if we want to lead fulfilling and joyful lives. But before we begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our channel to join our community and explore more life-changing content. Now, let's start with a powerful Stoic quote. Seneca once said, "We often complain about the brevity of our days, yet our actions suggest we believe we have an endless supply of time." Let me take you back to a time when I was ensnared by one of the most common and destructive habits of all: procrastination. You see, like so many others, I used to be a chronic procrastinator. It was as if I had a secret alliance with tomorrow, an unwritten agreement that I could always put off important tasks until the next day. I thought I had all the time in the world, that the days would stretch on endlessly, waiting for me to get my act together. But little did I realize the profound truth behind Seneca's words. He once said, "We often complain about the brevity of our days, yet our actions suggest we believe we have an endless supply of time." And those words hit me like a bolt of lightning one fateful day. I had been squandering my most precious asset, time, on fruitless pursuits and trivial distractions. I was living in a state of blissful oblivion, completely unaware of the fact that life is, in fact, fleeting. It was as if I had been sleepwalking through my own existence, allowing the sands of time to slip through my fingers. But that awakening came with a jolt. The realization struck me like a tidal wave crashing onto the shore. There was no guarantee that I would be here tomorrow. None of us have that assurance. The brevity of life is an inescapable truth, and it was time for me to confront it head on. I started to question the wisdom of my procrastination and my habit of postponing important tasks for the future. What if the future I was banking on never arrived? What if the opportunities I kept pushing for tomorrow were lost forever? The stark reality was that I had been cheating myself, trading the precious moments of today for a vague promise of tomorrow. Life was moving forward, and I was standing still, buried in a pile of incomplete to-do lists and missed opportunities. It was time for a change, a transformation. I began to treat time with the seriousness it deserved. I started to see each day as a gift, a chance to do something meaningful, to make a difference, to grow and learn. I realized that I needed to seize the present moment, for it was all I had. This shift in mindset didn't happen overnight. It took effort, discipline, and a commitment to change. I began by setting clear goals and prioritizing my tasks. I tackled my procrastination head-on, breaking down tasks into smaller, manageable steps. I held myself accountable, knowing that every moment I wasted was a moment I could never get back. And you know what happened? As I started to take action and truly embrace the value of each passing second, I began to experience a profound transformation in my life. The satisfaction of completing tasks promptly, the joy of making the most of every day, and the sense of purpose that came with it were more rewarding than any temporary procrastination-induced escape. I learned that the Stoics were right. Time is our most valuable asset, and it's a finite resource. There's no guarantee that we'll be here tomorrow, but we can make the most of today. It's a lesson that has shaped my life, a lesson that I carry with me as a reminder to live each day as if it were my last. So, as you go about your day, think about how you're spending your time. Are you squandering it on fruitless pursuits? Or are you making the most of every precious moment? Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, and don't wait for tomorrow to do what can be done today. Time is a gift, and it's up to us to unwrap it and savor every second. So, let's dive into the advice we can learn from the Stoics to help us steer clear of these common negative habits and lead a more fulfilling life. Number 1, stop wasting your life. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once delved deep into the contemplation of life's duration. He painted a vivid picture of the human condition, an image that has resonated through the ages. His conclusion was stark but profound. Many of us merely exist, going through the motions of life rather than truly living it. How often have you found yourself trapped in the monotony of everyday existence, lost in the routines and obligations, and perhaps even numb to the passage of time? It's a trap that's all too easy to fall into. The demands of modern life, the constant distractions, and the allure of procrastination can lull us into a false sense of security. We convince ourselves that there will always be time to chase our dreams, embark on that adventure, or nurture our passions. We live as if we have an infinite supply of tomorrows. But that's where the fallacy lies. Time is not an infinite resource. It's, in fact, the most finite and precious asset we possess. Each day and each moment that passes is a day we'll never get back. The brevity of our days is a universal truth, one that transcends culture, age, and background. To lead a fulfilling life, we must start treating time with the utmost seriousness and respect it deserves. We need to cherish each moment, not as something to be squandered, but as a gift that should be unwrapped and appreciated to the fullest. Consider the things that truly matter to you. Your dreams, your relationships, your personal growth, and your well-being are among the most precious aspects of life. These are the things that give our existence depth and meaning. Yet, how often do we procrastinate on these vital pursuits, choosing instead to lose ourselves in distractions and trivialities? It's time for a change. It's time to awaken to the preciousness of time. Embrace the wisdom of Seneca, and remind yourself that every day you have is an opportunity, a chance to take steps towards living a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Approach your time with intention, set clear goals, and prioritize what truly matters to you. Recognize that the time you spend on what's important is an investment in your happiness and well-being. And as you make that shift, you'll find that the moments you spend living with purpose are the ones that fill your life with genuine fulfillment. Remember, we're not here forever. The moments we have are fleeting, and there's no guarantee we'll be here tomorrow. But today, right now, is a chance to change, to live, and to embrace the beauty of existence. Cherish your time, for it's your most valuable asset, and it's up to you to make the most of it. Number 2, let go of emotional attachments. The Stoic philosophy is not just about shedding the physical possessions that can weigh us down. It's also deeply concerned with freeing ourselves from emotional burdens. In this regard, the Stoics offer invaluable insights into how we can navigate the treacherous waters of guilt and regret, two emotions that often linger and torment us. Guilt and regret are natural emotions that can follow our mistakes and wrongdoings. They serve as internal indicators that we've acted wrongly, reflecting our moral compass. However, the Stoics cautioned against allowing these emotions to grip us endlessly. Instead, they encourage a more constructive approach to dealing with these emotions. The first step in this process is acknowledgement. The Stoics believe in the power of acknowledging one's mistakes. It's an act of self-awareness that involves recognizing when you've done something wrong, or when you've made a choice that doesn't align with your values. This acknowledgement is not an admission of weakness, but rather an acknowledgement of the human condition. We all make mistakes, and acknowledgement is an essential part of being human. The next crucial step is to learn from these mistakes. The Stoics view mistakes as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Rather than dwelling in a sea of self-recrimination, they suggest we analyze what went wrong, what led to our actions, and what we can do differently in the future. It's a forward-looking approach that transforms the negative energy of guilt and regret into a catalyst for personal development. In essence, the Stoics encourage a shift from a passive stance, where guilt and regret torment us, to a more proactive stance, where these emotions become teachers and guides on our journey to becoming better individuals. Through this transformation, we not only ease the emotional burden we carry, but also use our experiences to build resilience and wisdom. It's important to remember that the Stoics didn't advocate a callous dismissal of wrongdoing or a cold detachment from our actions. Instead, they promoted a balanced and rational approach to dealing with the natural emotions of guilt and regret. By understanding their role in our lives, we can use these emotions to shape our character and live a more virtuous and purposeful existence. So, the next time you find yourself caught in the grip of guilt or regret, remember the Stoic wisdom. Acknowledge your mistakes, learn from them, and use them as stepping stones on your path to personal growth. Embrace your humanity, for it is through our flaws and missteps that we have the opportunity to become better versions of ourselves. Number 3. Stop procrastinating. The Stoics, including eminent philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, had an unequivocal stance against procrastination, viewing it as a pervasive obstacle to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. Their insights into the detrimental effects of postponing tasks can provide profound guidance for those seeking a more purposeful existence. Procrastination, in the eyes of the Stoics, is not merely a matter of time mismanagement. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the finite nature of time itself. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, believed that by deferring important tasks, we're essentially disregarding the limited and precious resource that is time. He aptly stated, "You could do something good today, but you choose to do it tomorrow." In these words, he encapsulated the essence of procrastination's folly, the illusion that time is boundless, and there's always a tomorrow for our ambitions. Seneca, another prominent Stoic thinker, echoed a similar sentiment. He observed that those who perpetually postpone tasks share a common trait. They are forever preparing to begin, never taking decisive action. Procrastination, in Seneca's eyes, is a futile exercise in delay that only prolongs the inevitable and feeds into the cycle of inaction. The Stoics advocated a practical approach to tackling tasks promptly. They saw it as a way to not only respect the limited time we have on this earth, but also as a means of fostering a deeper sense of fulfillment. When you address tasks as they arise, you accomplish two essential objectives. By acting promptly, you acknowledge that time is a finite and irreplaceable resource. Every moment that slips by is gone forever. The Stoics implore us to embrace the present, recognizing that it's the only moment in which we can act. Procrastination often brings about feelings of guilt and anxiety. When you put off tasks, there's a constant nagging sense that you're falling behind. However, by completing tasks promptly, you free yourself from this burden. You earn the gratification of a job well done and allow yourself to fully savor your well-deserved rest. You can relish your downtime without the shadow of unfinished tasks looming over you. This Stoic approach fundamentally transforms the way we perceive our daily responsibilities. It turns them into opportunities for growth and self-fulfillment, rather than burdens to be postponed. It invites us to be proactive, not reactive, in managing our time and tasks. The satisfaction of completing tasks in a timely manner is a powerful motivator to continue this virtuous cycle. In a world that often glorifies busyness and delay, the Stoic philosophy serves as a timeless reminder of the value of being present, acting decisively, and living a life that fully respects the precious and limited time we have. It encourages us to cast aside the shackles of procrastination and embrace a more fulfilling and virtuous existence. Number 4. Stop being a slave. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, had a profound understanding of the human condition and the persistent struggles that we face in our pursuit of a more meaningful and virtuous life. Among the fundamental concepts he emphasized was the idea of freeing ourselves from the various forms of enslavement we often fall victim to. He urged us to stop being slaves to our desires, be they driven by lust, greed, ambition, hope, or fear, and to seek true freedom through the mastery of our own minds. In Seneca's view, these desires are often the driving forces behind our actions, and they can lead us into a state of mental enslavement if left unchecked. Lust can lead to reckless behavior. Greed can become an insatiable hunger. Ambition can blind us to our true values. Hope can breed unrealistic expectations, and fear can paralyze our decision-making. These desires, while natural, can ultimately undermine our well-being and hinder our journey towards a fulfilling life. True freedom, according to Seneca, is not found in indulging these desires without restraint, but in mastering our own minds and exercising discipline over our impulses. It is the ability to resist the allure of immediate gratification in favor of long-term goals and values. This kind of mental mastery allows us to make rational and virtuous choices, unburdened by impulsive and often destructive behaviors. Discipline is the key to achieving this mental mastery. It is the practice of training oneself to control their desires and make choices based on reason and virtue, rather than short-term pleasures. Discipline does not mean denying ourselves all pleasures. Rather, it means finding the balance between indulgence and restraint. It's the conscious decision to act in a way that aligns with our principles, even when it goes against our immediate desires. Developing discipline can be a challenging journey, but it's a path that ultimately leads to a deeper sense of freedom and fulfillment. Seneca's teachings remind us that the true source of contentment and tranquility lies in our ability to master our impulses and live in accordance with our values. So, when Seneca urges us to stop being slaves to our desires, he's not advocating a life devoid of pleasure or ambition, but rather a life where we are the masters of our own destiny. Through the practice of disciplina, we can achieve the mental mastery that sets us free from the relentless pursuit of fleeting desires and allows us to live with purpose and virtue. It's a path to true freedom, a freedom that stems from within and empowers us to live a life of greater significance. Number 5, cease accepting mediocrity. The Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on virtue and living a life in accordance with reason and nature, offers invaluable wisdom for our daily actions and pursuits. One of the core principles put forth by the Stoics, and echoed here, is the idea that we should consistently strive to give our best effort in everything we do, regardless of the outcomes that may follow. Imagine every task you undertake as an opportunity to exhibit your character and your commitment to living virtuously. In this context, it's not just about accomplishing a goal or task. It's about the manner in which you approach it. It's about the intention, effort, and dedication you invest in the process. Every time you embark on a task, whether it's a work project, a personal goal, or a simple daily activity, take a moment to pause and ask yourself if you are giving it your best effort. Are you truly committing yourself to the task at hand, or are you merely going through the motions? This moment of reflection is essential because it connects external action to your internal character. It's an acknowledgement of the Stoic principle that virtue is not about achieving a particular outcome, but about the inner excellence that comes from the act of trying your best. Understanding that you can't control the ultimate outcome of your actions is a fundamental Stoic tenet. Life is inherently uncertain, and external factors often play a significant role in determining the results of your efforts. However, the Stoics encourage us to recognize the distinction between factors we can control and those beyond our influence. You can't control whether you'll always succeed, receive recognition, or attain your desired results, but you can absolutely control your commitment to giving your utmost in every endeavor. This commitment is entirely within your grasp and is the essence of personal responsibility. When you commit to trying your best, you align your actions with your values and principles. You become more resilient in the face of adversity because you understand that your worth is not solely defined by external success or failure. Instead, it's rooted in the consistency and integrity with which you approach life's challenges. The Stoic perspective reminds us that while external circumstances may be capricious, the effort you invest in your pursuits is a reflection of your character. It's an expression of your dedication to living a life of virtue and wisdom. And in this commitment to doing your best, you find a profound sense of fulfillment and authenticity, regardless of the outcomes. The Stoic principle of trying your best extends beyond mere productivity. It's a philosophy for living well. It's an approach to life that guides us to embrace the present moment, act with integrity, and find contentment in the pursuit of excellence no matter where our efforts may lead. Through this practice, we can lead a life that is both deeply fulfilling and true to our core values. Number 6. Do not allow anxiety to rule over you. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, was a master at addressing the inner workings of the human mind and offering profound insights into how we interpret and react to the world around us. One of his central teachings is the idea that external events, in and of themselves, do not inherently disturb us. Instead, it's our judgment, our perception of these events, that wields the power to affect our emotional well-being. Consider this for a moment. We often think that it's the external world that directly influences our happiness or distress. But Marcus Aurelius challenges this perspective, emphasizing that our interpretations and judgments about these external events play a far more significant role in determining our emotional state. For example, imagine a rainy day when you had planned to go for a picnic. The external event is the rain, a natural occurrence. It, in itself, is neither good nor bad. However, your judgment might lead you to feel disappointed, upset, and miserable because your picnic was canceled. In this scenario, it's not the rain that directly causes your distress. It's your judgment of the situation. This insight is pivotal because it provides us with a measure of control over our emotional responses to life's myriad situations. By recognizing that it's our judgments that hold the power, we can learn to make a clear distinction between things that are beyond our control and those that are within our power to influence. The Stoics teach us to focus our efforts and concerns on the things we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses. We have no control over the weather, the behavior of others, or many of life's external circumstances. However, we do have control over how we perceive and respond to these circumstances. When we encounter a challenging situation, by making a clear distinction between the aspects we can influence and those beyond our control, we can often find relief and clarity. It allows us to avoid the emotional turmoil that often accompanies the belief that we can control everything. The Stoic approach encourages a more balanced and rational perspective that can help us navigate life's uncertainties. Moreover, by practicing this discernment, we often discover that the situation isn't as dire as we initially feared. When we approach life with equanimity and wisdom, we can adapt to external events with resilience and a calm mind. The rain that canceled the picnic is merely a temporary inconvenience and not a life-altering catastrophe. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's teachings guide us to realize that the power of our emotions and reactions lies within us. By making a clear distinction between what is beyond our control and what is within our power, we gain a more profound sense of agency in our lives. We become better equipped to face life's challenges with resilience, tranquility, and a realistic perspective, ultimately leading to a more fulfilled and balanced existence. In the grand tapestry of life, we find wisdom in the words of the Stoic philosophers. Their insights, which have endured through centuries, touch upon the deepest facets of our existence. Today, we've journeyed through the annals of Stoic philosophy, drawing inspiration from the teachings of profound thinkers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus. We've explored the folly of procrastination, the squandering of our most valuable asset, time, and the profound truth that we should seize each moment as if it were our last. We've learned the art of releasing emotional attachments, understanding that guilt and regret, while natural emotions, should not torment us endlessly. We've delved into the perils of procrastination and the satisfaction that comes from tackling tasks promptly. We've recognized the enslavement of our desires and the path to true freedom through mental mastery and discipline. We've been reminded that the measure of our actions is not the outcomes, but the commitment to trying our best in everything we do. We've learned to make a clear distinction between things beyond our control and those within our power, finding that often situations are not as dire as initially feared. Now, as we conclude this journey, I implore you to take these Stoic lessons to heart. Let them resonate deep within your being. These age-old teachings, rooted in the simplicity of human understanding, hold the power to transform your life. In the grand tapestry of life, you hold the brush. You are the artist of your own destiny. And with every choice, you create the strokes that paint your existence. The Stoic philosophers, with their timeless wisdom, offer you a palette of virtues, values, and principles. It's up to you to create the masterpiece of your life. So embrace the profound teachings of the Stoics. Embrace the awareness that time is your most valuable asset and that each moment is a precious gift. Free yourself from the chains of emotional attachments, release guilt and regret, and seize the power of living in the present. Break free from the clutches of procrastination, master your desires, and unleash the discipline that lies within you. In every action you undertake, resolve to give your utmost, for it's in these moments that your character shines brightest. And remember, the ultimate measure of your success is not solely determined by external outcomes, but by your commitment to trying your best. Let Stoic wisdom guide you, shape you, and empower you to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It is through the small, everyday actions, through the choices you make in response to life's challenges, that you craft a legacy. You, dear viewer, have the power to lead a life that resounds with wisdom, courage, and virtue. Let these lessons, etched in the annals of history, light your path and serve as a constant reminder that, in the grand tapestry of life, it's not about the size of your brush, but the artistry with which you wield it. Your life is a masterpiece in the making, and the Stoic philosophers are your steadfast companions on this timeless journey. So, my fellow travelers, go forth and live your life in the spirit of the Stoics. Embrace the beauty of existence, and may your days be filled with purpose, wisdom, and fulfillment. And as we conclude, I encourage you to subscribe, for this journey is far from over. We'll continue to explore the depths of wisdom, philosophy, and human understanding. Together, we'll craft a future that echoes with the resonance of the past and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Subscribe, my friends, and let us continue to seek the path to a life well lived.